Have you ever been into a room and suddenly a person with huge levels of confidence and huge levels of charisma suddenly went into the room? Everybody starts speaking to them and everybody wants to get to know them. But suddenly you are just standing there and you wonder, how can I be more like this person? Well, don't worry, because I have honestly become that person, and after 3 years of studying charisma and communication skills, I will share with you how you can become this person also. First, I'm gonna make an enemy, because a lot of gurus online do one of these two things, and both of them, if they don't have one without the other, they're completely bullshit. They do not work, so you need to listen up closely. Most influencers will tell you, become more kind, learn all of these tactics, learn how to speak better, learn how to communicate in this specific conversation. That is good advice. But what they will never tell you is that you need to become authentic. You need to become kind and also authentic. And that is the core of charisma. There is also the other side of influencers. And they will tell you, tactics are stupid. You don't need to learn tactics. You just need to be authentic and be as honest as possible. But do you know what will happen if you will be as honest as possible? Is that you will say things that you should not have said. You will say things that are completely outrageous and you will just make the other person hate you. So the first influencer is just overthink about the situation and then speak. And the other guy is like, no, don't overthink anything. Just get into the flow and say the most horrible, sometimes even disgusting stuff to the other person. And honestly, after studying 3 years of charisma, it is none of these two. It is both of them combined. And now you might be asking, but how do I get this charisma? How do I become kind and also authentic at the same time? You first need to understand your bottleneck. Are you more of the person who is in the charisma needy, very nice guy syndrome, as I like to say? Is always pleasing others, is always trying to think of the perfect sentence to say, and they always freeze on the spot. If you are this type of person, you need to get yourself more into this authentic mindset. You just need to learn how to speak things, even though you just don't want to speak them. And the best way how to get this done is through exposure therapy. I went through thousands of cold approaches in my life. Thousands! And that's why I am no longer afraid of getting into these social situations that scare most people. Because I have been in them thousands of times. That's why what you need to do first, if you are this type of person who's always overthinking, who freezes on the spot, and is always thinking what they want to say next, you need to learn how to get into the flow state. And you need to learn how to just go and speak on the spot. And the best way how to do this is to go into the social situation and say immediately what comes to your mind. One day I have heard a story of this one charisma expert, and he has been with this guy, and he had this mindset, this horrible, terrible mindset of just always freezing on the spot. Now, he said to him, go to those girls and just scream the sentence dogs. And guess what happened? He went up to them and he said, dogs! The girls immediately started laughing and they had a banger time together. And tell me, what are you so afraid of? All of these people have the mindset of them just losing something. But rejection only happens if you want approval. Let me repeat that again. Rejection only happens when you want approval. Rejection is not real if you don't want anything from the other person. And that is also another mindset that you can use. Go into the conversation of not being perfect. Try to be human instead. Try to just have fun. When I'm with friends, I just have fun, I correct stupid jokes, and I don't really mind anything. Because that is what is my true core value. I've started like that also, to be honest. 10 years ago, the most needy guy ever I was. But now I've just gotten myself into those situations and I just spoke from my heart without overthinking. So just say what is on your mind when you will be in a social situation. When you will catch your mind going wonders, turn it off and just focus on you speaking what you just want to say. Second type of person is the one who is way too authentic. A person who will say the most disgusting, horrible stuff to the other person. And for these people, I have this advice. You have a lack of knowledge because you think that your authenticity is the golden thing in charisma. But it is not. It is just not even close to what you can be if you combine your authenticity with kindness. And for these people, I say this simple mindset: authenticity in positivity. Let me repeat for these people again. Authenticity in positivity. When you want to say something to the other person that you know that they're gonna hate you for it, you will just internally stop yourself and it will say, would I like if someone would say something like this to me? And then you will realize that no, I don't want someone to speak to me like that, so I will not speak to them like that also. If you're just talking with your friend, for example, and they say an opinion that you don't agree with, instead of arguing with them, instead of debating with them, you will just say, I understand your point. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? That sentence is extremely powerful because that sentence doesn't show that I'm here against your opinion, I'm here against your beliefs, I am here to understand your beliefs. So instead of you trying to debate or try to give always people unasked advice, rather ask for their situation instead. And after that, politely you can say, hey, would you like my advice? Imagine how many people you could influence with that. Instead of immediately giving unasked advice. As this one guy in the gym, by the way. He goes to random people in the gym and he starts giving them unasked advice. Yes, that's what he does. And he does it to me, to my friends, to everybody. And it starts to get on my nerves. But imagine if he started his sentence with, hey bro, I've been seeing your form. Would you like some advice from me? And you would be surprised how many people will actually say yes to that. People who are way too needy and who are not authentic need more action. People who are way too authentic and are just being assholes need more knowledge. And if you also want to become the most charismatic version of yourself and become the most charismatic person in every single room that you will ever enter, then you can join right here my program Charismatic Club. You get access to all of the courses when it comes to social skills, body language, communications, conversations, speaking skills, anything when it comes to charisma. And even better, this is just $50 lifetime. So if you want to join right now, because this offer is not going to last forever because I'm working on my courses. And after the courses will be finished, this price is getting increased 4 times. So if you are interested in becoming the most charismatic version of yourself and getting personally coached by me, then click the first link in the description. I'll see you right there. And if you want to become 10 times more confident in just 5 minutes, then you should click this video right here. Live a happy life, man!